If you've used SQLAlchemy and thought, why is there so much code? Or maybe you've used Pydantic and you thought, I wish this connected directly to my database. That kind of frustration is exactly why SQLModel exists. In this video, we're going to build a CRUD API using SQLModel. Just clean, readable Python talking to a database so you can understand it all. Here's the part most people miss. SQLModel exists because someone got tired of choosing between SQLAlchemy and Pydantic. We're here to fix that. I drop videos every Thursday. Be sure to subscribe. Welcome back, guys, for another episode of Code with Josh. For obvious reasons, I'm Josh. I'm stoked to have you guys here. Now, here's the part that usually gets brushed over. In traditional Python backends, database code lives in three different places. You got Pydantic models for validation, SQLAlchemy models for persistence, and then a layer of glue to kind of keep them together from drifting apart. Now, in practice, this is where bugs, duplication, and all this other stuff pile up. SQLModel collapses this all into one place. And here's the important distinction. It's not replacing SQLAlchemy, it's built on top of it with better defaults and simpler ergonomics. So instead of asking, is SQLModel powerful enough? The better question to ask would really be, what did we really gain by keeping everything separate in the first place? All right, now that we're inside here VS Code, I'm going to go through our imports here for this CRUD app. I'm just going to import datetime, all of our modules that we actually need here. Trying to use some type hintings here just for readability wise. And I mean, SQLModel kind of likes this. So optional and list. Since we're building out that FastAPI, we're going to import our FastAPI tools that we need. So FastAPI to build the app, we're going to use an HTTP exception for any errors, and then depends. So it depends something has to be true for that route to execute. And then from SQLModel, I'm going to import the SQLModel class so we can actually work with this. We want to get the field requirement. I want to be able to make a session for my database. I want to be able to make the database with my engine. And then we're going to import select. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to build out our models. Now, I want you to pay close attention about how different this looks compared to SQLAlchemy. Okay, so let's just say we're making a Notepad application, right? If I make a class called Note, I can inherit SQLModel, and then I'm going to set table to become true. Okay. What requirements are in every note? We're going to have an ID, we're going to have a title, we're going to have the content of the note. Is the note done? Yes or no? And then how about like a timestamp created at? So for our D, we know that this is like a primary key. I'll put optional, but this will automatically increment no matter what. And so we can actually keep track of our notes. Default, it was just going to be set to none. And then primary key is going to be true. I need that to increment and so we can tell the notes apart. The title is just a string field. Okay, so I'll say string here. We will be able to index this later. The content is also going to be a string. Okay, so field. And to be fair, because we're not actually going to give it any keyword arguments, I'm just going to say content string here. Is done is a Boolean. Okay, so field. Our default, what is the default value for this? Is the note done? No, it's not done. It's up to you to mark it done. And then index, yes, this will be indexable. And then finally created at, I'm going to say date time. This is a field. And for this one, we can actually give, this is what I want. Default factory. Default factory is going to be date time now. UTC now. There we are. And again, we're going to say index is equal to true. Okay, excellent. So that is kind of the first model that everything is built out upon. Okay, now additionally, on top of this, we can create other sub models. For example, if we want to update a note or create a note, then these would be models as well that would work with this. So I could put here like class note create. I'm going to use this model when I create a note. This is just a title. And this is just going to be content. If we try and make changes to a note, I can make one called note update. And anytime we make changes, what do we directly want to change? Well, the title is going to change. We'll put optional. I don't have to change the title, right? That's why I'm putting optional here. I'm going to set the value to none, because if we update a note, we don't have to update everything we see, right? It's kind of up to you. What do you want to update? So all of these can be set to none. and it's up to you to actually do that. Okay, so these are our SQL model models. That's, a combination of SQLAlchemy and Pydantic, but it's so much more readable, which makes it great. Okay, now we kind of want to start to test this out in a way. So I need to start building, let's say, building API stuff. I'm going to make an app object using our FastAPI. Okay, if you want to give it a title, I don't have to give it a title. SQL model stuff. Okay, great. I'm going to create an engine to establish my database using the create engine function. Here's where we put a string. So what type of SQL are we going to use for this? We're just going to use SQLite. It's easy, works with Python. And then we're going to create us a database here. Okay, so this will fire up our database. If you want to read the database commands, you could say echoes true, and that'll just output it in your terminal to help you see what's happening with the database. So when do I want the database to start? Well, I want the database to start on an event. Okay, and the event is going to be startup. When my API launches, the database launches. So we can create a function here called startup, and we're just going to say SQLModel metadata, there you are, create all, and I'm going to give it my engine. And so that'll actually establish us our database. Once we have the database, eventually we are going to want to get the session for our database, right? Who is using it? What note is there? Okay, so I'm going to say here with as a context manager session. Inside here, I'm going to give it my engine as the session. Okay, so this allows us to create that with our database. I'm going to yield back our session, just like that. Okay, so this essentially fires up the database. It gets things going when we start the API, allowing us to eventually get a session back. Now comes the fun API stuff. Okay, so building CRUD roots, I guess we can say here. Okay, so we're going to take our app. I want to make a post request, right? Post, I am trying to send information off somewhere. Okay, and I'm going to say response model is note. Okay, which model is going to be given to this root? It can be any of these. Note, I'm giving it this one now, okay, because I'm posting a new note. We have note create and note update. So once we've established our decorator here, I will just say create note. And inside here, we are going to give just a variable called payload. And this is the other model. I want to create a note. The parent is kind of our note in this case. Our session is going to be equal to our session, and this depends on our ability to get the session, right? So in order for this root to be called, we need this function to yield back our session for the rest of it to execute. Okay, let's zoom back in here for us. Awesome. I'm going to create a note, and the note is going to be denote model. What do I want here? I think I want model validate. We're going to give it our payload. We're going to create a new session with our database, and we're going to add that note into our database. Anytime we make a change to our database, you always need to commit or nothing goes into the database. And then the database has new information. We now want to refresh the database ultimately with our new note, and we can return the note back to us. Okay, so this is just us creating a note, adding it to our database, right? Awesome. Next up, let's create here, let's get back some results. Okay, let's say notes, and again, we're gonna say response model. This will be a list of objects. Okay, so all of our note classes are gonna come back. Did I mess up something here? App get response list note? I don't think I did. What's that error? Oh, obviously, I shouldn't have that there. We're gonna create list notes, and inside here is done is going to be optional. Okay, we are just going to say this is a Boolean, initial value is currently none. And then again, I can probably just go up here and copy this because we are just going to drop sessions in, right? All of this depends on our ability to get back an active session. Okay, so we want to choose the note pretty much. So I'm just gonna create a variable note. We are going to select the note class itself. If is done is not none, there we go. then our note is equal to note where note is done is equal to is done. Great, that's getting us those notes back. I'm going to take my note and we want to order them. So I'm going to say note order by. Where are we ordering by? Note created at, and let's go in descending order here. We can finally return our session. Let's execute the session. Yeah, there we go. Note, and we want to get everything back. Okay, excellent. So create note, list notes. I suppose we have 2 more roots here real quick before we even run this. Probably 3, I should say, because I do want to do, let's say, app get notes. We need to get a single note back. So in this case, there we go. We need to give it some kind of note ID. That's why we have the ID, right? Response model is our note. Def get note. Okay, so what do we want here? Well, this is going to need a note ID to even get a note back, and then our session is going to depend on that. We're going to try to get a note by saying session, I want to get something back. We're going to give our class, and we're going to see if it matches the note ID. If there is no note, okay, well, that's an issue. We can raise an error of some sort. I imported this class exactly for this. We can give status codes here. So a typical one is just going to be like 404. You could give some detail about it, right? Like note not found. Boom. Otherwise, I'm just returning that note. Very, very cool. Guys, any questions? Drop your questions. Hit that like button, right? We are going to do patch. So patch is going to be a way for us to actually update a note. So this is also going to require a note ID. Response model is going to be our note. And let's just call this update note. Again, this is going to take a note ID, which is an integer. It's going to take our session and note session. Let's put in here, let's say payload. What are we trying to update? In this, I'm just going to use the class model that we made of note update. Okay, so we have these 3. We now want to get a note. So once again, I'm creating a note the same way I just did in the previous one. We are going to get the note with the note ID. And then I'm just going to copy this part because honestly, it's the same thing. I'm going to try and raise an exception, right? Just trying to do what's best here. Now, what are our updates for this note? So I'm going to take the payload because that is the note I want to update. And we can say model dump. We are going to dump new data into this, and we can exclude unset, and we'll set that to true. For every key and value in update.items, it's basically a dictionary at this point, we want to set the attribute to note key value. We made changes to our database. What do we have to do? Take our session. We want to add. What do we want to add? We want to add the note. Anytime we make a change, we need to commit that. And we need to refresh if we want to see it in our API. Awesome. This brings us to our last one, okay? We can delete as well. Okay, so I'm going to say delete here. What are we deleting? Notes slash, we are going to delete by a note ID again. We're going to give this a response model. And what are we giving it? Our notes. And to be fair, well, actually, this is our SQLModel, no pun intended. I don't actually think I have to give this to the API. I just think we need the ID. So I'm going to try this. Let's say delete note. This will take our note ID, which is an integer. This will take our, I thought I copied the session. This will take a session that depends on it. There we go. Okay. Create a note again. So we're going to get back the note and we're going to get back the note ID. If we have an error, we can use our error again. Whoops. Gotta love indentation, don't we? Okay. Session delete. What do we want to delete? Our note. Session commit. And then I can't really return the note anymore. Let's just return like JSON. True, done. Look at that. Okay, so this is it, guys. This is the introduction here to SQL Model. I'm going to fire up the terminal. We are going to go uvicorn main.app -- reload. I spelled it wrong. Uvicorn. It's like I want to spell unicorn. So annoying. Reload. Okay, boom. There's our database echoes, everything back. Go up. Okay, boom, done. So all this is just the FastAPI here. In order to get the Swagger docs, we're just going to go doc. And you can see here are all the API endpoints I built out. If I want to create one, I'm just going to go into post, click try it out. Okay, here I'm going to put as a title, let's say code with Josh. And then we are just going to drop subscribe. Okay, we can scroll down, execute. We're looking for a good response, 200. That executes perfectly. If I want to go back now and get a list of notes, for example, let's say is done. Let's try it out. Is done is false. We're going to execute. Boom. There we go. I have 2 of them. I demoed one before. Same content. Okay, not duplicate. In order to prove that, let's just go here and let's say hello. That's spelled wrong. We're going to say here just some text. Execute. Good response. Going down here, we are going to execute again. Boom, there you go. Here's my new update, not duplicating. This is SQL Model built in with FastAPI. Now that API is finished, let's talk about what SQL Model actually gets right. First, there's one mental model. You're not switching contexts between database models and API schemas. I got one class that handles most of the work and everything stays fully typed. Second, the readability is good. Right? It's better than SQLAlchemy. And then even if someone on your team has never touched SQL Model before, this code is easy enough to follow. That matters when you're debugging at midnight or coming back from projects months later. And then finally, the FastAPI integration is basically seamless because it was built by the FastAPI team. Validation works, response models work, open API docs work, all without extra configuration. And finally, it's still kind of SQLAlchemy. This is also where reality kicks in. SQL Model's ecosystem is smaller than SQLAlchemy's. There are a few examples, right? There's fewer blog posts, there's fewer Substack Overflow answers. Yeah, we have AI, I get that, okay. And it's not ideal for massive legacy databases where extremely complex schemas are still there. In those cases, plain SQLAlchemy, if we're using an ORM, often gives you more flexibility. And SQL Model is opinionated by design. That's great when its opinions match your needs, but if they don't, you start to feel boxed in. So SQL Model isn't about being better. It's about being better for a very specific kind of work. If you're building an API, especially FastAPI, starting a new project, and you care about clean type Python code, SQL Model, excellent choice. If you're deep inside a legacy system or dealing with extremely complex ORM requirements, then SQLAlchemy directly is often the safer bet. Different tools, different jobs. SQL Model feels exactly what a modern Python ORM should be. Less boilerplate, fewer moving parts, and code that actually looks like Python. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and we will see you in the next episode. Until then, Python crew.